Let's start the meeting, and welcome to all of you for this, I don't know, third, fourth historical meetings. Thank you for the participation, especially from a friend from America, South America. There are quite a lot this time here, and of course, European and Asian also, who are joining us for this meeting. In this meeting, I think the president will not be here with us. Probably he's watching the game in Dubai. But in this meeting, we're going to continue some discussions that we had last time, especially the one related to the missing FIDE president. We're going also to talk about the project that I mentioned last time, related to documentary, related to museum, to books, and there will be some announcements also at the end of the meeting. So let's start by the first point, which is related to the missing presidents. You remember investigations last time, and I was telling you that in 1939, during the FIDE Congress in Buenos Aires, there was a motion by the General Assembly to give the leadership of FIDE to the president of Argentina Chess Federation at the time, Mr. Dumuro. What's happened is that FIDE management board asked to make some investigation on the case, and if the result will be positive, then to send the matter to the General Assembly for, let's say, corrections of the FIDE story. So we have with us here Mr. Negri. Mr. Negri, are you here? Can you hear me?
Hello, Willie.
Yes.
A good pleasure to know you and the friends of chess and loving of history.
Yeah, so just to mention, Mr. Negri is a chess historian from Argentina, and he worked a lot with Mr. Marguedo on that case, on the Olympiad also of 1939, with a few publications. And I will give the floor to Mr. Negri to brief you on the conclusions of, let's say, of investigations. I think it's quite interesting. So, Mr. Negri, please, maybe you can resume like I did, or maybe a bit longer than I did, and then give you a clue of the story.
Okay, Willie, many thanks again. And it's Mario Petrucci, the president of FIDE, Federation, Argentine Federation here, and the investigation was made with Mr. Morgado, that it's coming, but he couldn't, but yet. I have a presentation, there are only 2 pages. I will read, our language is Spanish, not English, but I will read the investigation in 2 pages, but there are a lot of words with Morgado and other words that it is possible to consult when people want. I begin. The missing president is the name of the dossier that was opened in FIDE. The missing president is Mr. Augusto de Muro, that was the president of Argentine Federation, that was designated in 1939 president of FIDE. And in this opportunity, the headquarters of FIDE was moved to Buenos Aires. In 1939, 3 historical events took place in Buenos Aires: the Tournament of Nations, the Women's World Championship, and the 16th FIDE Congress, which, in the context of the declaration of World War II, made 2 decisions. Number 1, provisionally move its headquarters to Buenos Aires. And number 2, appoint the Argentine Mr. Augusto de Muro as president of the organization, appointing Mr. Alexander Rueff as honorary president. These decisions were to operate until the next FIDE Congress. The 1939 FIDE Congress was issued in its fourth session on September 18, 1939. The aforementioned proposals were formulated by Dr. Luis Oscar Bettner, representative of Paraguay, doing so on behalf of the federation of his country and of Uruguay, Bolivia, Ecuador, Chile, Peru, Costa Rica, and Guatemala. It was endorsed by the delegate of Denmark, and it did not deserve any rejection. The closing assembly of the Tournament of Nations, which took place on Tuesday, September 19, 1939, starting at 11:30 a.m., presided over by the delegate of Uruguay, and with the absence of Mr. Rueff, ratified the decisions of the Congress. De Muro's appointment was then formalized with the unanimous support of Uruguay, Chile, Paraguay, Lithuania, Poland, Bolivia, Canada, France, Germany, Bohemia, and Moravia. In this time, it does not exist Czechoslovakia. It was Bohemia and Moravia, you know. Hungary, Estonia, Peru, Brazil, Costa Rica, Cuba, Guatemala, and Ecuador, plus the presence of Miss Mary Karff from the United States, and with the sole abstention of Argentina. Some final considerations. It was stated that the issue was resolved without it being on the agenda. But Congress is sovereign, so it could legally introduce unforeseen issues. In addition, the Second World War was supervening at the time of its convocation. It was declared on September 1st, 1939, while the Buenos Aires tournaments were being played. Under these conditions, the Congress could and should take measures to safeguard the interests of the FIDE. Mr. Rueff never accepted the congressional decision, of course. He considered it a coup d'etat, when what could well be considered is that the outgoing president did not respect a decision taken by the sovereign authority of the institution. There is journalistic documentation and research, both in Argentina and abroad, including those made by me and Morgado, that are available to the members of the FIDE History Committee and the international community in general, which were brought to Mr. Willy Clicky, to whom we thank very much for his attention and good disposition, which are explicit about what happened on that occasion. Mr. Clicky thoroughly consulted the FIDE chief, we know, and we understand that he came to the conclusion that Mr. Rueff's position on this point was not consistent, and that Mr. De Muro had indeed validly assumed the FIDE presidency. There are documents that prove that Mr. De Muro was recognized as FIDE president, including the letter from designated FIDE vice president, Mr. M.S. Humes, from America, North America, dated September 26, 1939, and letters from world champion Alexander Alekhine to Mr. De Muro, dated October 26 and 28, 1939. In practice, however, Mr. De Muro's role was limited to the South American sphere. This is certain. There are numerous journalistic articles in newspapers. In Argentina, La Nación, La Prensa, Buenos Aires Herald, magazines, El Ajedrez Americano, and books, Pounds in a Greater Game, from Corfield, El Impresionante Torneo de las Naciones, 1939, from Morgado, La Generación Pionera, 1924-1939, from me and Arguiñariz, Remember 1939, from Copier, El Ajedrez en Perú, from Felipe Pinzón Solís, that was member of the Peruvian team in 1939, was a witness of the facts. Detail of this action from the Muro, like president of FIDE, we have. First, the Muro inaugurated the Mar del Plata 1941 tournament, a classical tournament of this time, in his capacity as president of FIDE. B. He endorsed as FIDE president the 40 blind simultaneous that Miguel Naidorf played in Rosario, Argentina, in 1943. C. Acting as president of FIDE, he was reported on media like Radio Rivadavia in Argentina in December 1945. D. He attended the inauguration of the second tournament in memory of Roberto Grau in El Círculo Club in 1945, always in his character of president of FIDE. Yet in 1945, in conclusion, it could be said that by decision of the 1939 FIDE Congress, endorsed by the Assembly, first, de Muro was designated provisional president of FIDE, a position that corresponded to him temporarily between September 1939 and 1946, date of the next Congress of the entity. 2. The city of Buenos Aires was provisionally designated in the same period as the headquarters of FIDE because of the Second War. Both episodes have been object to date of a historical surgery for us that, in homage to the truth, must be reviewed, recognizing facts that were real and the product of decisions taken in legal form. At the FIDE Congress held between July 25 and 27, 1946, in Winterthur, Switzerland, without the presence of the Argentine delegation or any other Latin American delegations, Mr. Rueff was again appointed president of the Federation, resuming the mandate as is marked by the known historical line of facts. We are very grateful to Mr. Petrucci, the first president of Argentine Federation, that decided to rescue the issue from oblivion, promoting the respective historical vindication. We are very grateful to FIDE America for having endorsed the initiative. And we are very grateful to the FIDE authorities for having opened the respective institutional investigation, which we trust will lead to full future recognition of these episodes that occurred within the framework of the Good Nations Tournament of Buenos Aires in 1939. We consider that the truth is closer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Negri. I would like to add what's happened after, just to insist that once Dr. Rueb came back to Holland, he sent a letter to all the federations asking them to reject the motions which was accepted by the General Assembly. We have a copy of the letter in FIDE. Then it was silence for 6 years until the end of 1945, when Dr. Röper sent a letter to the federations after the war, asking them to meet again, if possible, the next few months. The meeting happened in Switzerland, in Winterthur. In that meeting, no mention at all of the problems happened in 1939. What's happened also is that, as far as I know, because of the higher cost of the Olympiad in 1939, the Argentine Chess Federation has a lot of financial problem. And I think it went even bankrupt and replaced by another federation with another president, which was, of course, immediately accepted by, let's say, FIDE office in Holland. And therefore, we didn't hear anything anymore about Mr. De Moro, who passed away, if I remember well, in the 1958 or 1959. So the situation is, if you have to look at the problem today, we will say, was it, let's say, legal, all these battles or change of, according to the statute of that time, no internet, of course, any motions or material for General Assembly should have been sent to FIDE 4 months before the start of the General Assembly, which was not the case. The motion came during the General Assembly from the floor. The procedure should be used at the time is that the president should have rejected the motions, says simply it's not in the agenda, we cannot discuss this here. However, even I read in some resume of the meeting that he says, okay, I'm not in favor of that motions, but we can discuss this in the next day. And he let the discussion open, and finally this discussion came to a vote where it was mentioned that he was not present, but unanimously -1 accept the motions there. What Mr. Röper should have done is to call maybe extraordinary General Assembly once back in the country, but unfortunately at that time Europe was, let's say, in war. Not completely, because the war started only in May 1940, and therefore, of course, no General Assembly in Budapest, which was scheduled for July, I think, 1940, and the matter was left like this on the table. So, and of course, no FIDE activities for 5 years. And since there was a change in the federation, since Mr. De Moro was not, let's say, active in the chess world, he decided probably to continue like nothing's will happen. So the General Assembly will discuss and accept or reject the request. We'll have to, of course, to wait all the argument in favor and against. But I should say that for me, and from all time, and we had this experience 1994, for those who remember the Congress of Moscow, where there was only one candidate at the time, Bashar Quatli, and a second candidate came after the deadline, President Campomanes, managed to convince the General Assembly first to let him run, and then once he was qualified, to vote for him and became a later president. So General Assembly is the highest body, can decide about everything if they feel so. And therefore, for me, if General Assembly has made these decisions in 1939, legally, it is legal. This is my opinion. But okay, the matter will be discussed next year in the General Assembly 2022 in Moscow. That will be also connected with the 100th year anniversary of the Argentine Chess Federation. nothing to do, but at least I mentioned. And General Assembly will decide. So the period of presidency, if this is acceptable, the period of presidency of Mr. De Muro could be 6 months or 3 years or 6 years, should be therefore accepted. And of course, when we say, I mean, to answer the question who was the longest president, maybe there could be a chance that Mr. Röp, if he's losing 5 years, therefore Mr. Ilomzhinov will become the longer FIDE president with 22, 23 years, if I remember well. Voilà. So this is to brief you about this important story for FIDE. And they will react next year in 2022. Now, if there's any questions, maybe Mr. Negri or myself will try to answer to that. Beric, go on.
Willie, can we ask Mr. Negri to provide these papers, preferably in English, to all of us? Of course, it will be very interesting to read it.
I guess, yes, Mr. Negri, yeah?
Please repeat the question. Is it possible to put the question in chat?
No. Well, just the question was that if the people here, let's say in the near future, could have a copy or some copy of minutes and material that you just mentioned.
Copy from the documentation, yes, of course.
We have in English too, Beric. We sent complete info to the Sergio Negri. We have in English for all members of the Commission to History, okay? It's okay. We send. Thank you, Beric.
We have written 2 documents in Spanish. One of them is the more complete one, and 2 documents in English. The English ones is briefing. The more complete is the Spanish, but with pleasure, we will do any translation if it's needed. And we know that Clicky said before, thank you so much, Mr. Clicky. It's logical for us that Holland have another position. It's logical. But in this case, the facts happened. The important is the facts. And the important is the legal of the decisions. In 1939, Congress and Assembly of FIDE in legal form decided that Mr. De Muro was provisional president of FIDE. These circumstances, we, like historians, must consider. The history is the truth. And it's not a decision, it's like for me or it's like for the other. This is not important for a historian, and we are, by luck, in historical committee. The truth is that the decisions was adopted in 1939, was adopted in legal form, and was adopted by Congress and by Assembly of FIDE. That was the institutional in this time and always. And the documentation is for you and the questions, please, my chat, my email to all the persons that need, and with pleasure, join Mr. Morgado, we will answer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Negri. Any other questions?
Thank you.
No? Okay, so we can go to the next topic, which is yes, chess museum project. Okay, which go actually with the chess archive and the documentary project. So can you close your microphone if you don't use it, please? Thank you very much. Voilà. Alors, yeah. So before that, you remember, of course, the FIDE project for 24. Just for memory, in 24, between July, 20 July, and for 1 year, we're going to have 10 to 12 celebration around the world. On this, let me brief you that we have choose a list of country, and from now I can tell you that if I didn't sign any contract yet, the Argentina Chess Federations is very interested, as Germany, as Spain, as France, as Hungary, as Russia, as Tunisia. I think this is half of the country, and I have some meetings with also with the England Chess Federations, with Dutch Chess Federation, and if I'm missing, and Swiss Federation also, to join, let's say, the team of organizers. So in Georgia, and we will have 12 organizers for every month during that period to organize chess activities, special chess activities for the 100th year anniversary of FIDE. Just to remember also that it will be a 2-day event, and there will be some rapid simultaneous games by Grandmaster, and also exhibitions, lecture, and at the end, a FIDE gala. We have much more interest than this, but to make a selections, I had to put some criteria, and the criteria were to have organized at least 3 top events in the last 100 years, like Olympiad and World Championship, men or women. For that project also, you remember that I mentioned that books, special books will be about FIDE history, will be published. So I will explain in a minute what I've collected here and there, what I've bought from the market also. There will be a documentary, and there will be also some, let's say, comics book about chess in general. About documentary, let me share something. Okay, if I can. One second. Oop. Okay. Can you see my screen? Yeah? Yeah, okay. So about documentary. So we had, I was telling you last time that we had one guy, Belgium producer, who was interested to make, let's say, to promote a movie. The idea at the time was to have a film, a bioptic film with actors and mixed with documentary, which could be like 18 to 26 episodes. What's happened is that the guys make a deal with a company in Hollywood, and they went to visit Netflix. Would you please close your microphone, please? Thank you. So Netflix answered that they're interested to do something about chess for the next 2 years. However, they don't see FIDE history as let's say good topics for them, and they will produce something which is much more related to spy movie and these kind of things, which is not what we were looking for. Then the same guys contact Chinese productions which is very interesting because, as you know, with all the world champion ladies and after winning 2 or 3 Olympiad, chess became a bit more popular than it was in the past, and the CCTV company is willing really to consider to do something. However, due to the corona, the thing it's a bit frozen for the moment. Therefore, I will meet with my colleague Berik and Mr. Abundo, the presidents, in the next few days in Dubai. And I will propose him to start a documentary about, of course, the period of FIDE. And I start yesterday to build a kind of, let's say, project which is related with document film, where I can find and people that I'm going to ask for interview. I will send to all of you after, because it's very important for me to have some input. There are some period, okay, I divide, let's say, the documentary in 3 parts. One related to the world champion. The second one related to the president of FIDE, that was the first, the second one. And the third one related with the rest, organizing Olympiad, World Championship, and of course ladies, etc., etc. So I put, according my knowledge, name of people that we have to interview to get, let's say, the right, let's say, explanations or comments about, let's say, the topic where they are included. But of course, my knowledge is maybe limited. There are probably other people who should be there to be interviewed, and I would like to ask your help for that. Okay, if you take, let's say, the first part of the project, unfortunately, there's no one who can talk anymore about Dr. Reub. I know that they have his library and archive in Amsterdam University. But also, I will try to look for some image to use for this. And if I cannot have anyone to speak about him, it will be just image, and then someone offline, yeah, we'll talk about what he did and what's happened during. So you can see the name of the president and the people that I wish to contact. And then the same story later for the world champion. I should say that Berik, who's here, has already started to make an interview of Boris Spassky a couple of months ago. We are in a hurry to make at least 3 interviews, Boris Spassky, Yuri Averbach, and Frederick Olafsson, who are quite old those days, and better to have it fast than let's say, never. But of course, maybe Dmitry or some other Russian friends can help me to get some a word about Vitnik and Smyslov. There was an exhibition in Russian Chess Federation recently with very nice stuff about Smyslov. Etc. And I hope so. With all this interview, with the archive, film archive that I can find from ex-Yugoslavia, Latvia, Russia, in London also, BBC, and maybe somewhere else where you will tell me where to find it. We'll be able to collect enough material. Okay, recent time, it's quite easy to find, but I'm talking about the last century, and mostly, of course, before 1970. Berik.
Yeah, really, just want to remind you that if you remember, the Linder father and the Linder juniors, they wrote big encyclopedia world champions.
Yeah.
And I believe we should include now the Linder junior in this list.
Okay, I will do. Yeah, thank you. Voilà. So this is for the documentary, and of course, I will ask the presidents to budget it, to accept the budget, at least that from next year we could start to go left and right and collect the right information, as well make interview of the people. We should be ready by middle of 23 or end of 23 to be say visible by, of course, 24. So this is related to the documentary. And now,
Really?
yeah,
May
but
I ask?
Who is physically
Yeah.
going to do it?
Huh?
Who is physically going to do it? All this, the recording, filming, recording of this part.
Yeah,
Of-
but yeah, this is the depend a bit of the budget that the president agree. In case that it doesn't, the fund will not be big enough as you were expecting when we discussed this a couple of months ago. We will go for let's say one guys who will make the shooting, and then put all the video clips together, going to a company who can edit it professionally and just make like this. Now, if the budget is big enough, okay, we can have a crew who can travel left and right. Many of those people hopefully will come also to Moscow next year for the Olympiad. So, and for the others, okay, we'll have to move and find out the guys in his home. Okay, there are many Europeans, so it's not so expensive to travel there. But okay, basically there will be a team. Anyone who wish to contribute or to work with, please let me know. And let's say we'll talk it again, so maybe by the end of the year or beginning of next year, when I will have a kind of approval from the president. Yeah, Patrick.
I think in your list you should have Gerd Gessen, of course,
yeah,
and also maybe Bessel Koch. They are two important persons that they were close to a lot of world champions, and
yeah,
I
right.
think those two persons are very interesting to interview.
Yeah, okay, for Bessel for sure, I will add in on the list. For Gert, as you know, he's not very well, and he wants to stay a bit out of, let's say, social or meeting people. It's quite difficult. I have invited him for all the meetings, but as you see, that he cannot appear for the moment. Hopefully things will be better, but okay, I will be in touch with him. There are some good plays, not only in Moscow. For instance, a week or 2 weeks ago, I was in Amsterdam. There's the Maxo Center there, where they have a lot of archive about Maxo time as players and as also as a president of FIDE, so I will get benefit of this. In the States, probably there's somewhere in the World Chess Hall of Fame. There's some good material also, but I don't know all the places also. And I don't know too many collectors who may have good things also to share. But okay, this we just start. So here and there, and with some good ideas, I'm sure that we'll manage to find something, let's say, interesting.
Hi, Billy. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just going to suggest that one name that could be on that list would be Vega.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I invite him for the meeting today. He could not make it, but he knows.
Yeah. I'm talking about the documentary, because I don't think there's anyone in FIDE now that has the span of generations that he currently has at 86.
Yeah.
And still very mentally coherent, and I know he has a lot of very interesting information.
Okay, so that's for sure. We'll try. I will contact him on this subject and try to get it something from his side. Yes, sure. Anyone else?
May I say, Willie?
Yeah.
I just want to make a proposal. When you send this paper for everyone who is attended today, let's ask them just to make their own additions, say with green letters, all names he knows, with a small explanation if need, why these people can be included in the list. And we do it very fast, and you will get it back and make the whole copy of the full list of possible people you can ask for interviews. So maybe it would be very fast, not to discuss it just now, just to send the list of your proposals around.
Okay. Yeah.
Fully agree.
Yeah. So yeah, next week, sometime next week, I will send these documents that I just showed to everyone, and any input, of course, is mostly welcome. Input from their side, or maybe some let's say contact that we can get means to make it even better. Voilà. For next points, which is related to the museum, books, etc. First of all, I would like to thank many of you who have given me some material and I've sent to you a kind of catalog also that I, with FIDE, managed to compile about 40 pages of many items. I hope that all of you got a copy. This catalog is growing day by day because I'm still getting stuff. I'm still buying on internet, and I'm still buying from private collector or be in contact with collector to buy. I just want to show you. Okay, I think will be difficult. We'll see if I can share my screen again. Okay. Alors, I bought maybe the most expensive item just to show you. One second. Okay. The most expensive item that I bought was this Fabergé egg. I bought this from an auctions. It's quite heavy piece of eggs. When you open it, as you can see, it's a mini chessboard. It's about 2 kilo, and not this. This is quite unique. There's about 150 such a piece in the world. They produced this in the late 90s. And just for the information, I bid twice on this. The first time I bid, I lost the bid for 2,400 euro, but the second time I managed to buy it for 910. I was quite lucky. They were not some bidder for this, and this kind of items. Of course, I'm not going to buy many chess sets. This is not the idea of the museum. But I will buy a few. I bought one from beginning of last century, Regence, and but some funny things like also a bottle of Coca-Cola chess set. Voilà, there will be a few to display in the exhibitions. I would just also want to show you. One second, what I got recently. So every time when I go to a trip, I try to visit some people, buy things or exchange. And one second. So here, for instance, chess book. I don't know if you can see, but this is a cartoon chess book. The title is Le Joueur d'échecs from Stéphane Zoé, which was published in Belgium. cartoons. Sorry about chess. There's another book that I bought recently, which is in French. I don't know if this exists in another language, but it's the life of Bobby Fischer in cartoons. So I recommend this because it's quite well done. Yeah. Then, okay, I keep buying a lot of envelope with stamp, all kind of stamp related to World Championship Olympiad. Yeah, some nice photo. This is Karpov from some press agencies. Here the match Korchnoi, Karpov 1978 also. I managed to buy the bulletins of this is the bulletin of the 1950 Olympiad in Dubrovnik. And many, this is, you will recognize the magazines of 1982 Olympiad in Lucerne. Here, Congress, FIDE Congress 1985 in Graz, etc. And you see that already we have already collected nearly 1,600 items of all kind of stamp, books, brochure, photo, video, etc., etc. So I will update the catalog regularly. If you are interested, I will send a copy. And of course, I would ask you if you have anyone connected to you or maybe yourself wish to share digital or even to sell some items, to contact me. We don't have a big budget, but of course we have some money to spend to collect, let's say, those items to be used for museum and the books also. Museum that we had an offer, but the president asked me to delay to sign a contract, and he said that he's in contact with some companies, and he will let me know very soon what are the results of his negotiations in Russia or somewhere else. I don't know. So it's very important for me that to use your contact. I'm sure that you know, all of you, you know at least one historian. And I'm sorry to hear sometime that when I contact one guy, he said, oh, he passed away, and the wife has put everything in the garbage. Okay, this is unfortunately, some bad story that I heard twice, 3 times. So please help me to locate those material. And if someone wants to donate, fine. I'm very happy. If he wants to sell, okay, we can negotiate also. We have also posters that I receive a lot from the World Chess Hall of Fame, also from Moscow. There's one here, if you can see, but okay, this is about Olympiad 1982 in Manila. I've got plenty of this. I think that for sure we can already make very nice exhibitions about FIDE anywhere in the world. Actually, I have about 30 kilos of material, paper, object items to be displayed anywhere where it would be necessary. So I just need your cooperation. So any questions on that? Yeah, don't hesitate to speak.
I have one suggestion, maybe, really.
Yeah.
We need to think about an opportunity to create a sort of moving exhibition, because, of course, we can prepare a digital exhibition we can use whenever we want or in any federation which want to use it. But if we want to show original items, the biggest problem is to organize the place and the showcases for this exhibition. And maybe we need to think about companies which can provide us with this sort of any showcases and something like that. If we want to move this exhibition between 10 or 12 cities where we will celebrate the FIDE, we need to think about it beforehand. I think it's important.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, the project will be divided into a permanent museum and virtual museum. Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
A permanent and virtual museum, and of course, for sure, in some place, when I was telling you before that 12 place will be selected for the celebration, in some place we'll certainly move with material to show. Sorry, to show the people, to the world, what is chess, what is FIDE, what is the history. Yes, something like that for sure. It's not easy to travel with 50 kilos, but we'll find a way, most than probably, to do so. It's very important to show a treasure around the world. But okay, we still have two years, but we should.
Yes, it's quite important. That's why I say you, because you need to move through borders and to pay some taxes and so on. It's quite important, especially when you send gold items and old items. It's quite important. And the second, maybe we can contact federations beforehand, and they can provide us with showcases and places when we can display it. It will be maybe a little bit more easy.
Yeah.
But the questions of borders and taxes, it's very important also.
Yeah, just to mention also that I received some medals also, real medals from the last two Olympiads. Just 1 second. The last two Olympiads, and it was very, very, very generous from Batumi and Baku to give me that. Okay, for the people to know that in Moscow there's the collections of the medal of Bronstein. There's also another collections of Gligorich nearby Belgrade in Gligorich Museum. The idea that I have is try to reproduce those medals for let's say the last. Since I think the first medal I saw was 1952 Olympiad, and I hope to have a complete set of Olympiad medals, world champion medal to display, even if it's a replica. It's still good to see. As well, that I was in touch with Boris also to reproduce this Hamilton Cup, which is given to the Olympiad, which there is a copy also in Moscow, if I remember well. I think FIDE doesn't have too many items to show, but it's very important that to show something, and that will bring some interest to the visitor, hopefully. Yeah. Anyone else?
Yes, Willie.
Yeah.
Hi, Mario. Hi, Willie.
Hi, Mario.
What about the Argentina document I carried to Dubai the last week?
Yes, I should mention that, okay, there are many things that I have to mention. It's good that you remind me. I didn't reach Dubai yet. I'm planning to go there day after tomorrow. But since you're talking, I would like to thank the Argentine Chess Federation. Mario has brought to us a copy of the score sheets of the match Capablanca-Alekhine. I guess all those score sheets original and the full set are in Buenos Aires, as well that he has provided us a copy of many posters, Olympiad posters, which are hanging in the Buenos Aires Chess Club. And this is something which is very important because, okay, before the war, it's quite difficult to get material. just to remind you, even for FIDE, just to remind you that the FIDE headquarters was bombed in 1945, I think, beginning of 1945, and most of the material was destroyed. Hopefully, Dr. Reb had some stuff in his home, which was donated to the Amsterdam University that I'm going to visit. But what did the Argentine Chess Federation is quite important. There are few here. Monaco Chess Federations was a very nice item regarding, for instance, the 1966 Olympiad in Cuba with vinyl record of the FIDE anthems and other stuff received by the players at that time. And many of you, as I said before, has helped me a lot to get very, very interesting material, digital or original, and that will be certainly used for, let's say, the exhibitions, and certainly used for the books that we're going to start to write by end of 22. And with the help also of you, and especially the Moscow Chess Museum. Voilà. But we have to continue. It's not a one-man show, this story, and really need some help to find the right place. As I was talking before the meeting with Arts Metzing also there, who has, or at least who showed me a very nice book of photo album, actually, with original photo made in 1964 at Tel Aviv Olympiad, where you can see very beautiful photo of the Soviet time Soviet players at that time, as well German time, and there's also another book with the Olympiad of 1956 in Moscow, with also very nice photo from that time in another album. So I need all of you, and some of you are really collectors. Okay, if you want to sell, fine, but at least try to give me a chance to share your items one way or the other. Well, anyone else? Oui? We have a friend from Cuba. Please open your microphone and you can speak. Yes? Yeah, you can go on. No, we cannot hear. No, can you open? There's no voice connections. Gennady, can you see something that we can do? By the way, Cuba Chess Federations has sent us a lot of pictures of memorabilia from that Olympiad 1966. Very, very interesting stuff. If I have chance one day, I will go there. But that's really worth to visit the place. No, microphone doesn't work. Let's try. No. Unfortunately, I cannot hear. Let's try a bit later. I see Mr. Lindberg here. As I mentioned before, Mr. Lindberg is a Swedish historian, and he's writing a book on the life of Rogar, President Rogar. I hope that this book will be soon or late finished, but this is also someone which will be very useful for the documentary, especially about Rogar. We don't have too many things in FIDE archive, and I know there's something in some place nearby Stockholm. Mr. Lindberg, could you tell us a bit about this book that you're writing about President Rogar? Your microphone, please. I think you have to connect your microphone. Yeah? Can you open your microphone? No? You have a button on the left side. If you see down left side, you have activate or deactivate microphone. No? Doesn't go? Okay, by that time, so let me continue a little bit. To go back to these celebrations, which will start on July 20 in Paris, we are quite far in the organization of this event. It's quite important even because it will be 4 days before the Olympic game, which will start in the same city. We have already good programs, which including a visit of the grave of Alekhine, but also ceremony to sign, to re-sign the FIDE statute of that time, 1924, with the 15 delegates who were present, not the same, of course, but we'll make such a ceremony, and also we'll have a nice venue nearby the Eiffel Tower, probably, to have some chess event over there. Just also to express, let's say, as you know, we have many celebrations not this year, this year and following years. We'll start with Argentina, 100 years, but also with Netherlands. We'll have a celebration for the 150 years of the federations. Probably the oldest chess federations that I know, at least a member of FIDE. Catalonia will come also, and many other federations will celebrate. So we'll be quite busy because we want also to help them to do something related to their own history and help them to celebrate this in the right way, with also some financial support of FIDE. Mr. Lindberg, are you okay? You can talk?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, very well.
Yeah, great. I think I was muted, as a matter of fact. I think that was the problem, or one of the issues. Yes, as Willy stated here recently, I'm right now into writing a book on Folke Rogard, the Swedish FIDE president in the 50s and 60s. As of now, I think I've gone through basically all the material that is inside Sweden, and that concerns, I would say, 90% of his work in Sweden and in the Nordic countries. but there is still some work to do there, because the FIDE archives is actually situated in Holland, in a small city of Holland. And I don't know, really, have you been to that actual city where the FIDE archive is situated?
Myself, no, but
No.
I met in Amsterdam 2 weeks ago a former FIDE employee from the time of Olafsson, who went there last week. Actually, he sent me a report. There's about 40 meters of archive, well sorted, not well sorted, but at least put in some on shelter. And he says probably there's not so much that I could use for, let's say, the books, but there's a lot of very interesting stuff, especially before, let's say, the 2000, which means that it's probably the stuff which was, Mr. Abudo may remember, most of the FIDE archive was in a garage in Lausanne, no, Lucerne. In Lausanne, and therefore they didn't know what to do, and they decided, I think Mr. Kelsen was the middleman, and he asked FIDE instead to destroy it, to send it to Leeuwarden, which is the city that you mentioned.
Yeah,
but I will go there hopefully in February if things go well.
If you go there in February, I would like to have some kind of report what's inside the archive, because I'm thrilled to hear.
Yeah,
I would expect to go there later this well, let's say in April or May or something like that. If not the pandemic strikes us again, I'd really want to go there. So if you have the chance, I'd like to have a short report on what's inside, and if it covers the period when Folke Rogard was active, so to say.
Okay, yes, I will do so, and also I will send you the report of Mr. De Winter that I received a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
maybe
that was great.
Just to one thing, did you manage to find some image or film about Mr. Rogard so far?
I have found no film of Folke Rogard as of now, but I have plenty of pictures, also pictures in physical form. So also of course in downloadable, but also in physical form that I bought from different sources, and I am happy to share it with you, of course, in concerning the FIDE anniversary and so on. So yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. But I mean, since he was connected to the, let's say, cinema through his wife, and also his contact, maybe we should be able to find something somewhere with some Swedish actress.
Yeah, actually, I have reached out to one of his children, Lena Tabori. You know about her. It's his daughter in the marriage with Viveka Lindfors, the famous film star. So I hope to get an interview with her concerning her connections to chess and what she can recall about her father. And I'll ask her then about a possible film then, that it might be something, because Viveka was such a famous film star, and it should be something that could be useful in this anniversary, I hope.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Where are friends from Cuba? It's still there. No, probably some connection problem. Voilà. So this is to brief you about what's happened so far, and my request for you to support the project, as well how to say, to get some ideas also, where to get informations, what to do, how to improve. We have also here a former French President, Yves Marek, who's involved in the preparation of Paris. If maybe you can give us a little bit about the concept of that, or what did you do and what are you planning to do? Microphone, please. No. Ami? Yeah. Voilà.
Voilà. Hello, everyone. Yes, I think it's a great thing to have the centennial of the FIDE in Paris, since it was created in Paris in July 1924. The FIDE was created especially in one of the city hall of Paris, of the ninth part of Paris, and perhaps we can organize an event there, an exhibition, for example, in the room, if we ask them to block the rooms as soon as possible, because in 24 there will be the Olympic Games, and probably in Paris, and probably a lot of events. And I imagine too, as I did when I was president of the French Federation during the centennial of the French Federation, then we can, of course, organize an exhibition, but we can also to have some recordings and to organize some events, to commission some works, especially multiple works, or the sculpture of prints with a great artist, in order to have works who enter in the history of art, like those of Duchamp and Man Ray and others, by great signatures. And we can manage to, if we have a minimum of money to commission, you can manage to have works which could be included in the exhibition, but it could be also a gift for president of federations, for officials, and to enter in collections.
Yeah, it's a very good idea. Actually, we're going to have a meeting soon, probably in February in Paris. I hope that the president will join, and then we can discuss those issues, which is, of course, very important to have something unique for that celebration. Yeah, thank you. We have a friend from Cuba. You can speak, I think. Can you try?
Okay, let's try. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening. Yeah.
Okay. Well, sorry for the problems. Maybe it was another machine. First of all, our English is not so good, but we are going to try to understand.
It's okay.
Okay. So, well, Mr. Carlos Rivero, the president of the Cuban Chess Federation, was telling you that I'm going to, how can to say, to interpreter, no, to translate.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
I'm a member of the Cuban Chess Federation too. My name is Rodney Perez, international master, but
welcome.
He's the president of the Cuban Chess Federation, Carlos Rivero. So he want to tell that we have a lot of material, no, in order, for instance, respect to the Chess Olympiad at the 1966, no, in Havana. Some videos, documentals, videos, philatelical material, souvenirs, books, you know, original photos from that historical and important tournament, Olympiad, and we are collecting all of this kind of material, no, in order, if of course, if you are interested in, we can give you, or give to this object, no. Even the most of these things of the Capablanca's Memorial tournament that we have made a lot of edition, no? So we want to give you at the Moscow Olympiad next year. And we have material too of Capablanca, you know, of the person of Capablanca, no?
Really?
In edit photos. Souvenir too of Capablanca and documental, a very important documental video of Capablanca too.
That's very important. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So the Capablanca, like a world champion, like a chess player, and the memorial material of the memorial Capablanca too, and of the Olympic chess in Havana 1966. And philatelical, important and unique philatelical. This is a cancellation that we made just recent 16 days ago, and the last November 19, no, when was the birthday of Capablanca, November 19. So we made this cancellation in honor of his victory, his century of his victory in the World Championship match against Manuel Lasker. So in this kind of things, we have a lot of things that we can give you with this object, of course, at the venue of the Chess Olympiad in Moscow next year. No? This is the most important thing that Mr. Carlos want to tell you. No?
Yeah, that's very great, and I look forward to see this. It's very important. He said I received some picture about the material a couple of months ago. It was just great. If I can see this with real eyes. Yeah.
And a book of the Olympiad.
I saw this book by my friend Georges Berthollat. With a couple of books on the Olympiad. And we have here also the president of Monaco, Jean-Michel Rapert, with a few things of that Olympiad brought to him by some player, Jean-Michel Liet. Where are you?
Oui, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Tu es au cercle là ou tu es pas?
Je suis chez moi, je suis en train de travailler en même temps.
Okay. Yeah, I've saw a few of them, especially this Jean-Michel, President of Monaco, has the cigar box, I think. Box of
yes, from Cuba. It's time to smoke them.
Yeah. I think every player receive a big box of cigar, and he has one still.
Yes, we have many items from we have a chess set, very nice. They give to all captain one chess box and one table.
And if you can see, no, I have bad light, but this is the record made in Cuba during the Olympiad about FIDE anthems that Jean-Michel gave us alone. Yeah. I didn't listen to it, but I will. We have some good material out of this. But thank you very much for your generous offer. This is wonderful.
We have also a mascot for the French Olympiad in 1974.
Yeah, about this Olympiad.
And many things also. And I give to President Salazar a special flag. French flag with the Olympiad 1974.
70 or 74?
1974 in Nice.
Yeah. Thank you very much, my dear friend from Cuba. And I look forward to see you in Moscow, if not before.
I hope so.
Maybe in your country, and we will be delighted to look this. We have also a friend.
Thanks for the invitation. Thanks for the invitation, and you can come with us in any help.
Thank you very much. I will
with the Cuban Chess Federation, I mean.
I think my good friend Renato Frick would like to visit also your country in Cuba with me sooner or later.
You will be welcome.
Thank you. We have here also Andrei Filipovic. Andrei Filipovic is probably the memory. Andrei, wait a second, I have to fix your microphone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can say some words, okay?
Yeah, especially about your participation to the Olympiad.
Senior Perez, I played in Havana, 1966.
Ah, yeah?
I played in Havana. I have all documentation, even chess set given by Castro, given a long time ago, as well many papers, 2 books regarding this. It was 6 weeks Olympiad, one of the most interesting Olympiad in the chess history. I visited 26 Olympiads, so it is easy for me to confirm this. It was one of the best Olympiad in chess history. There is no doubt, you know, in Havana, 1966. 6 weeks, and we have 1 week in Varadero to rest before the Olympiad, also 1 week later after the Olympiad to rest. You know, it was very interesting and very well organized. And I have many pictures, many photos, and and 2 books regarding this Olympiad. Okay, thank you regarding this matter.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to share again my screen to just, if you can see this picture where you see Andrei Filipovic, very young at that time, shaking the hand of Fidel Castro, the picture that he sent to me.
Okay, it's my picture, yes, with Fidel Castro, me and Balcerowski and Bednarski.
Member of the Polish team, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, a nice picture. Thank you very much to give it to us.
Okay, I have many pictures from Havana, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, you sent me a few of them about the hotels and so on. Yeah. Okay. We have also here with us today Mr. Break. Is he still here? Mr. Break? No. Yeah. I don't know. I don't see. Ah. Okay. No. Lewis, since you are here, Lewis Nkube is continental African president and also, let's say, hope to organize one of the big chess events in Africa in the next couple of years. Can you tell us, it's quite difficult to get access to, let's say, historical documents in Africa. Maybe you could try to help us a little bit in the future. Wait a second, I'm going to activate you. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, hello everyone. Actually, I've already started after we last spoke. There are a few guys, especially our friend Kim from Kenya, who is very good at keeping records, and he has sent 1 or 2 cuttings and also reports, and I'll put them together. And I've also I'll be meeting him next week or this coming week, basically, when I go to Nairobi for the opening of the African individual schools individual chess championships. So we've arranged to meet and we'll discuss, and I'll get a few of the material that could be interesting, and then I'll send it to you. Some of it, because he says he's got so many, we need to sit down and go through a few of them and say which ones I believe should be would be relevant to our mission here.
Thank you, Lewis. Thank you very much. It's quite important to get also, as Africa is part of a family since a long time, we would like to have something to show about Africa, chess in Africa. And I hope that you will help us to do this. Next, we'll go to Ian. Ian is from Romania. Romania was, let's say, quite important nations in the 70s, 80s, and still today, because they organize many World Youth Championship and so on. But I still have some big problems to get some archive, Ian. That someone, Mr. Ster, I think, has in Bucharest. Alors, voilà. You can talk, no?
Yeah. Yes. So, Willie, hello, thank you. About the material that I've sent to you, if it is interesting.
Yes, but the problem is that the resolutions was very low. And if I need to publish this, I need, let's say, a good standard, which was not the case. And therefore, okay, if you think it's necessary to go to Bucharest, it's not really a problem. But I really would like to, let's say, get access to the archive of Mr. Cern, or maybe another one.
So we can discuss, and maybe he has to prepare a visit here and to visit Mr. Stere's home and to see his archive. Of course, he has that issue that we have that question about the Olympiad in Emmen, and we would like some support to answer that question. It was a tiebreak in the final. And allegedly, the regulations were changed after or during the finals or something like that. So our team finished with the same number of points with the Soviet Union in women's section, but on the second place. And
yeah, I've got a few pictures by Andre, by the way, about this Olympiad 1969, something
67.
like that. 67, yeah.
57, sorry.
57.
It's in Emmen. I think it's the first women Olympiad.
Yeah, in Holland. Yeah, correct.
Yes, and it would be great for our federation to find to get some let's say some sure elements, some sure proofs that this is it was the clear situation that the organizers, I don't know, the chief arbiter changed the regulation during the event, and allegedly our team should take the first place, but after this changing of the regulations, our women team finished on the second place, so on tie breaks. So it would be for us to clarify this situation. If someone could help us with these regulations in Emmen. And of course, just if it would be the case, just some symbolic recognition for our team finishing ex aequo for the first place.
I think that it may be found in some FIDE magazine. There was a FIDE magazine at that time from 53 until 64, I think, or 65.
Yes.
I will check if there's any report about that tournament that I can send you.
It would be great, yes.
Yeah, I have many magazines, by the way. I have many magazines of FIDE many years ago, but it concerns what year?
57, Emmen Olympiad.
57. I don't think I haven't 67.
The first women Olympiad, I think it was.
I will
yes,
check.
the first woman Olympiad, yes.
Yeah, I think I have it somewhere. I will have a look. Then, thank you, Ian. Let's go to Alan Herbert from Barbados, who became independent recently. Not the federation, but at least the country. So, Alan, just 1 second, let me activate your microphone. Well, you can talk. What about FIDE archive in Barbados?
Right. I was going to send you an email of some things that we would have access to. I wasn't sure. Like, we have press clippings from when Dr. Irway came out to the Caribbean just before the war, and he visited Barbados and he went to Trinidad. I actually have that from our national archives. I don't know if it's something that's interesting. Unfortunately, we can't find any photo of him, but he did play some simultaneous exhibitions, etc. What I wanted to ask you about, Willie, is the last time I had mentioned the FIDE for the 100th anniversary of trying to encourage as many federations working with their philatelic bureau to produce a 100th anniversary chess stamp edition to celebrate that. I didn't see you mention it as you went through the 100th anniversary, so I don't know if that idea was something you guys decided, well, you wouldn't worry about, etc. But I just wanted to mark the spot there. And I do have a couple things I'll write you about related to, because I think part of the 100th anniversary, besides looking back, should also show the diversity of the sport we have today. So if we have something like was mentioned by I think our friend from France about paintings, etc. Do federations have chess paintings, original chess paintings that have been done that could be loaned at an exhibition, etc. To do the images of chess from around the world. So I just wanted to add that, since he had put that on the table. I think it's a really brilliant idea. To have something around the paintings.
Just about STEM, I just want to mention that 2 weeks ago I was in Liechtenstein. Okay, unfortunately I don't see if we can see something, but voila. Liechtenstein, a small federation and small country, was probably one of the only European countries who never published or release any stamp, and they did so. Unfortunately, Renato Frick was here, but he left. But this is something which is in my agenda to encourage federations to go to the post office and try to make a deal, special deals. I'm not sure we will get many, but certainly we'll get a few federations or country will issue a stamp for FIDE. Especially from Africa. It's amazing when you go through the chess stamp, how many countries from Africa has released stamp and beautiful one with picture of world champion. Just Google that. But this is very, and also about the picture, I found, as you know, China is copying everything. So I found one company who's specialized in reproduction of person or painting. I asked them to quote me some picture that they may draw about a world champion or any other chess ideas. So I'm in touch with such a company. I don't know what will come out of this, but really I'm in touch with that. Yeah, thank you very much. And about Maxeux, yes, anything which he was FIDE president also at the end.
Yes.
Anything, if you have any memorabilia about his venue, even if it's not in Barbados, but next door, that will be mostly welcome.
Yes, I think he was, at the time that he visited the Caribbean, he was still, I believe he might have been FIDE president. I'll need to double check. I'll need to double check from the article what they said, if it was before he was president or after. But yes, I'll double check. So I'll send that and in separate email to you. I'll show you some stuff that we have, may or may not be interesting for the particular project. But one of the things I would want to suggest that the commission can do is certainly try to encourage federations to pay a little more attention to archival information. Many federations don't know what to keep, what they should keep or not keep. And as a result, for their own region or country, many interesting archival objects have been lost over time. And I think that may be a role you might need to, I think the commission should look to promote in terms of guiding federations as to look, you may not think it's important now, but it actually does have some historical value. And maybe you need to consider how you could seek out assistance from an archivist within your country to help you figure out what to keep, what really would be useful going forward. I'm struggling with that problem now, what to keep. I have many things in my home, and other members of my board over the years, boards over the years have many things in their home. which our collective wives would love us to just throw into the garbage and free up the space.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a big problem.
Well, actually, I'm planning to ask FIDE to send a letter to Federation, but also to use their website and social media to promote, let's say the museum and the anniversary of FIDE by, let's say, the donations, or by even selling to FIDE what they may not use and are just lying there, as you say, ready to be sent to the garbage. But it's very important. I mean, as I explained, I came late in many occasions because the person died just before, and the family didn't know what to do with the sink. Maybe Herbert Bastian, Herbert, you are there. You can maybe tell us the story of Lothar Schmidt, who was the biggest collector, and what's happened to all his collections, and the reaction of the family. Just 1 second, I will give you the floor. I have to activate. Yeah, no, 1 second. Yeah, you can talk.
Sorry, Willy, I cannot tell you much things. I'm not in contact with the family at the moment.
But you can maybe say that okay, they didn't want too much to keep everything. They could not find a buyer, and therefore partly it's sold through auctions in Germany or in other country. Unfortunately, all this work that he has made for years and purchase here and there, they're going to be. They're not going to be, let's say, in one basket anymore, and unfortunately, collection will disappear completely.
Yes, I think it will disappear.
Yeah, it's really pity. For that, I would like to show you also. I managed to buy. I don't know if many of you know this guy, this collector from US, Di Lucia. He had an article in New Chess a couple of years ago. It's a guy who has a huge, probably today the biggest collections of chess set piece, letters, posters, and everything, books, etc. And he has published a couple of books, and one of them, just 1 second. One of them, it's weight about 5 kilos. There's 1,000 pages of memorabilia that he has collected. Very well done. Probably for me, if not the best book of the modern time, full of illustrations of any items that he has collected for years. And since the guy has easy access to money, he was buying more or less everything, a bit like Lothar Schmidt. And he wanted to sell these things, and he gave it to Sotheby. But as far as I know, nobody bought it. I think he was asking something like 5 million euro. But if you Google the name, you will find his website and some picture of his collection. This is completely amazing. And if you have some money to spend, okay, it's not very cheap, but very high quality of book. I will certainly advise you to find his book. There are not too many books on the market because he printed only 150 copies. There's one about his library. There's one book, amazing book special about Fischer, all the items, score sheets, letters, clothes, etc., everything that he bought related to Fischer. Unfortunately, he has no doubles, but I hope that I will manage to get one day something from him. This is really worth to De La Lucia. That's De Lucia, DELUCIA. That's his name. Very well recommended if you have some money to spend. So if anyone has anything to say, Any recommendations? Anything? No? So I will give the floor to a friend, Jean-Michel Péchinet. Is still here? Jean-Michel? Wait a second. I have to activate your microphone.
Yeah. Willy, tu m'entends?
Ouais, je t'entends. Okay, you can express this information that you wanted to say to everyone.
Yeah, hello everybody. Just a few words. The 16th, I will go to make a conference about chess history in Salamanca University. And the main point is we will talk about our enigma, you know, Willy, the model of the Renaissance, the queen of the Renaissance, the modern queen, and the bishop. And I will make the point of what we know until nowadays, only with the facts. And I guess it will be really interesting conference. So maybe we could communicate after that with a historical committee, because we will try to clarify the situation and the former hypotheses. We will formulate our our hypothesis, and up to me, really, it will mark a real decisive moment in that so large investigations since centuries. And I guess you will appreciate. So let me, in which way we could communicate after that. Up to me, we have already discussed the matter with the people of Salamanca, because you know in Salamanca there is a Lucena manuscript, treatise from 1497, and we are still involved in the creation of the Museum of Karpov in the castle of Castillo de Alaquas, in the castle of Alaquas. And we do suppose that Margarita de les Vélez and Jacques Motte de Aguilar have been the models of the modern queen and of the alfil of the bishop. And so it could be a real interesting moment.
Thank you, Jean-Michel.
Yeah, I will ask to the people of Salamanca to tape if they can record the conference, and if there is a link, I will pass it to you and to all the members of our historical commission. Thanks.
Thank you. I am sure that few members, as Herbert, will be interested to join.
Yeah, he already sent me an email. Hello, Herbert. Let's communicate about it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Abundo, you didn't say anything, so please, you get the final word here. Wait a second, I have to activate. Yeah, gone. Toti?
Toti.
Ah, 1 second. Maybe. Go on, Toti.
Yeah, there. Good evening, everybody. It's very interesting and nice to see. I have many photos here. Really, I got all my photos from Russia and brought them here to Dubai to show Willie when he comes. Negatives and photos, and
yeah,
many things there.
You will be very important when we'll talk about Campomanes for this documentary.
Everybody asked me the same question.
Yeah, yeah. But okay, no, I'm not going to ask you these questions that everybody asked you, especially related to the match 1984.
Yeah.
But okay, I'm sure that your knowledge and your, let's say, super close contact with him will help us to have, let's say, a good picture
yes.
And I hope that in Manila there's someone was also some movie or some films, clips, video clips about Campo somewhere. I'm sure he made many interviews, so something should be found, no?
Yeah. Well, you know, I live in Dubai, so I'll ask people there.
one day I hope that you will go back.
Yeah, of course I will. When I visit.
I see Mr. Capece from Italy. Let me activate his. Voilà. No. Again. Voilà. Mr. Capece, you are a historian from Italy.
Yes, thank you. I am happy to be here, and I saw many all the friends and many people that I met in the last year in the different. I think it is very interesting, all this. I'm sorry for my English, but I will hear with great pleasure your speech. And so thank you very much. And I hope I can be of some use in the future for some material from the magazine L'Italia Scacchistica or from Italy. Thank you very much indeed to everybody.
Thank you very much to you. Voilà, I think we will close this nearly 2 hours meetings. I would like to thank you very much from those far away or close for your participations. I would like to ask you to look through this catalog also that you got, just to understand what we were looking for. And if you came across some material, don't hesitate to ask me. Of course, if you know some people want to sell it also, please let me know. And hopefully we'll meet again in the spring or late spring to brief you about the improvements of all those activities that we planning to do or project we're planning to do for 24. Till then, I wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Stay safe and hope to see you next time. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you and bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.